Hi guys, this is the Dominator of the World, giving you this video at 12:35 a.m. Normally I should not be this tired, however I woke up at 6:30 in the morning, so I am exhausted. And after I finish recording this video, I am probably going to bed, and I will upload it tomorrow, that I'm sure. So, the sound is muted, so there's not going to be any fighting or music or anything because there was background noise while I was making the video, which was a shame. Oh well, maybe next time. It's very difficult to record stuff now without background noise. But anyways, back to the battle. This is Alterac Valley, and I'm not playing with my rogue. I finally have, well, I've had for a while, but I haven't made any videos with it. I have my DK to level 85, and he's pretty well geared. Well, mostly for PvE, he's well geared. He only has 3 sets of the honor gear for PvP, so we're gonna take a look at that right now. He has a head, he has the shoulders, and he has the boots that I recently got. Out of all, I think the DK set looks absolutely amazing, way better than the rogue set. And my favorite part from this set is the boots, because they look absolutely awesome. They're all thick and big and heavy looking and everything, and I really like it whenever WoW makes armor that looks really thick. Plate mail, well, actually just plate, that's really thick. It looks really cool, especially on Tauren. And that's where I like to see it. Alright, so the group started off badly. They tried to start off how everybody would start off in vanilla. However, people don't do this anymore. It's not very advisable to do it, but since most of the group is here, I kind of had to do it. So I pop army right there, and I join in the fight. I am in Frost Spec, since I always do Frost Spec for PvP. My main spec is Unholy, but that's only for PvE. Some of you might wonder why that is, because most of you would use Unholy for PvP and Frost for PvE. Well, the thing is that I've been Unholy ever since the DK came out. So I like Unholy, I like having a pet, and I think I do really good with Unholy in PvE, and I think I do way better with Unholy than I do with Frost in PvE, since in Frost I like to see the very big crits, and so I end up just waiting for the shiny stuff to show up on the screen, and that ends up taking away from my overall DPS. However, in Unholy, you can AoE like crap, and you get a lot of DPS, so I really like Unholy. I can pull 13k easily with Unholy if I'm fighting against a group in a heroic dungeon. And that's all because of diseases and death and decay, and my pet. The only bad part is that my pet is half of my DPS whenever I'm Unholy, and if my pet dies, my DPS ends up dropping dramatically, which is not good for viewing. So this assault on the mid boss person was a fail. The Alliance was ready for our attack, and they put a lot of defenders in there, which I'm surprised as to why they did that. I don't know why everybody is playing so badly in Alterac Valley. A couple days ago, I played such a good game of Alterac Valley. It was so epic. There were so many big battles, and it lasted for at least 30 minutes, and all the battles were full of everything, and everybody would just respawn and go back to the same place, and the battle would go on forever. And it reminded me so much of how Alterac Valley was in vanilla, where everybody loved it. It was the best battleground in the world. It still is, I think. I think this is my favorite. People might not like it because you end up having to Zerg, usually to win, and there's not much strategy or tactics behind it unless you're trying to capture towers and keep them, like the people on this this battleground are doing, which I do not approve of. And people would say that Arathi Basin, or now the Battle for Gilneas, is better because it requires strategy. However, I don't really like... Well, I like strategy, but I don't think it's fit for PvP. PvP is all about killing people. That's the entire point. PvP stands for player versus player, not strategy. Strategy should be put in a different topic. I mean, it can be put in PvP, but not. It shouldn't be the main thing. PvP should just be people killing each other. That's the entire point of it. I'm actually surprised they didn't try to make a newer version of Alterac Valley for Cataclysm like they did for Warcraft Gulch and Arathi Basin. However, I would assume that that's because they tried to do it with Wrath. And I just noticed this a couple of weeks ago when I was in Isle of the Conquest Battleground. Yes, that's very similar to Alterac Valley. I never noticed it before until I actually played Alterac Valley, and then I played Isle of the Conquest right after. There are a lot of similarities, like certain places you get, the reinforcements that you lose if you lose places or you gain places. And if you gain the places, you get access to the new stuff that Wrath brought in, like siege vehicles and everything. And of course, there's more new stuff like destructible buildings and gates and everything. But another similarity it had with Alterac Valley is that at the end there was a very hard boss to kill, and it required Zerging, and it required a good tank, good healers, and good DPS to bring him down. And if you brought him down, you win. So that's basically like Alterac Valley. The only thing missing that kept it different from Alterac Valley was the NPCs, the lack of NPCs. There were no NPCs. In Alterac Valley, there are so many NPCs, and I think that makes it so much more epic, because in the battles, you fight whatever you find. You're fighting a player, then you kill him, then you tab, target, and then you just go to an NPC, and you go like, oh, easy kill, yeah, let's kill. And it's just, it draws out the battle more, and it makes it more realistic, it makes it more lore-ish, World of Warcraft lore-ish. And I personally love that about Alterac Valley. Yes. Well, I think that's enough about me ranting on about how great Alterac Valley is. I can't believe I just ranted on about that for 4 minutes. But I think it is the best Battleground for those reasons. Anyways, just post your comments on the comment section on what you think of Alterac Valley. I don't really care if you agree with me. And I don't care if you disagree with me. It's really based on how you view the game and how you want the game to be for yourself. It's how you enjoy the game that depends on what Battleground you like. Like, I don't like Arathi Basin simply because it's too boring, too drawn out, and I just have too many bad memories with it from vanilla. Alright, so now we're going to actually get to the battle. I'm going to start commentating on the battle. As you can see, I've killed quite a bit of people in Frostspec. Unlike my rogue, my DK actually gets kills from actual fighting instead of picking off the weakest. Or I just group with other people and gank them. But either way, I'm killing people. Now, I'm wondering what to say. Now that I've stopped my rant about Alterac Valley, I have no idea what to say. I mean, I'm killing people. What else do I say? I'm killing people. They're killing me, and they've managed to kill me here. There are shiny things on the screen that are saying I can get a very big hit. Crit. Ooh, what else to say? Alright, this Alterac Valley took quite a long time because the people who played with me in this Battleground were such idiots. They kept for the towers, and normally you're supposed to do that. You're actually supposed to do that. That's the mechanics of the game. Blizzard created it so you controlled the towers and kept them. However, people don't do that anymore, and I agree with them. I was kind of hoping for a fast Alterac Valley so that this video wouldn't be so drawn out, and it ended up taking all the gigabytes that I had left on my computer. So at the end of the video, Fraps ended up going crazy, and the frame rate for the videos went like below 10, and it was just god awful. And it's all because of the people wanted to keep towers. I mean, for half the battle, they kept at a single tower to try to control that one single tower. Now, I understand that you have to keep towers, but if it's just one tower, just leave it be and keep going forward. Go offensive. Don't stay in the defense, or else you're gonna run out of reinforcements, and we certainly would have, since we were already behind whenever we were defending the tower. And right here is a scene where we're defending the bloody tower, and I just had to help out. I had to get these people to move forward, to go on the offensive, because frankly there were only 3 people currently on the map that were all the way in the Alliance territory place, and they were soon killed. I myself tried to get there, and I was killed. There were so many Alliance there, I was ganked, and it was terrible. So we really needed to Zerg that place. Yes, Zerg. The Horde Zergs. Ooh, the Alliance Zergs too, just so you know. At least on this realm they do. It's all about Zerging. Alright. Frostspec is cool. I do like Frostspec. It has some very good damage done to it, but it's not good in DPS for me. The only thing I don't like about Frostspec is that you don't have a pet. Now, I understand why you don't have a pet, because you do such high crits, but I think pets are so cool, especially for DKs, since you control the undead. I mean, the pet doesn't get any cooler than controlling someone that's dead. You're basically like a miniature Lich King, even though he's dead now. Alrighty. So here I got a bit too far ahead of myself, and I ended up dying. Yeah. And I'm not skipping the parts where I'm in the graveyard, since I can make videos longer than 15 minutes. I'm just going to keep it here. However, it does kind of take up time and space, and I end up wasting my words, and I run out of things to say. Yes. Well, you're probably wondering why my raid bars are like different than the normal ones. I got a different add-on, and I forgot what it's called. So, I won't tell you what it is, but I will tell you that it's a new add-on, so that's good news. Alright, so around this time, we were finally going on the offensive, and we were taking their towers as we went, and that Night Elf just jumped off the bridge. Probably just killed herself. Oh well. Anyways, we were taking all of their stuff here, and there was a pretty big battle. Not epically big like the one I was in about a couple of days ago. I wish I had recorded that one. That one was absolutely amazing. I just wouldn't have been able to record all of it, and it probably would have been more like a montage of the best parts. So, the thing I've noticed about hunters, whenever I fight them on Battlegrounds lately in PvP, they tend to be a bit squishy. They're a squishy class in PvP. I'm able to take them down easily. I've noticed that even the good ones, the ones that are highly geared, I've managed to take down a lot of their health with only a couple of hits, and they eventually die pretty easily. They die very easily. And I recently heard that Blizzard nerfed them. They're going to, and I really don't see why they should. I mean, the hunters are already weak as they are. They don't survive very well in PvP unless you're absolutely good. So I don't think the nerf is really gonna help. In fact, nerfs aren't supposed to help, but this is gonna be even worse for the hunter players. Unless, of course, all I'm killing are hunters that really suck at their class. But I really doubt that. Because they have good armor and everything. They have to be good. Alright, so we're winning so far. We're making progress. We're at their last flag, and we're trying to take it. There's only one paladin defending it, and we're already, conquering the flag. He's gonna die soon, since he's way outnumbered, and we've taken their flag now. So now it's time to go to the final boss. I always forget his name, so I cannot say his name. I've never memorized the Alterac Valley bosses for Alliance or Horde, and so I won't be able to say their names. However, we make 2 attempts on this last boss. The first one we fail because half of the raid group was still guarding some of the towers. So in the second try, we ended up calling everybody in, and we just zerged the dwarf. Before we make our first attempt, we're gonna clear out some of the Alliance players that are there. Hopefully they respawn somewhere farther away, so that we don't have to deal with them again. Alright, now it's time for our first try. We actually waited a long time for the first try, so I'm wondering if I should skip out on this. Nah. We're gonna watch it all. The wait, the everything. While we wait, you can take a closer look at my armor. The spaulders are pretty cool too. I just think the helmet is a bit strange. I mean, it gives a shadow of death, I guess, a view of death, but it is a bit strange, I think. It was around this time that Fraps started going crazy on me, and it's because my memory was really low at this point, and so you're gonna see excuse me. And so you're gonna see a lot of movement impairing effects, like you're seeing right now. Fraps is going crazy. The frame rate is so low that it was literally bothering how I played. So in the second attempt, I had to shut down Fraps completely. And yeah, I had to shut it down. I will, however, start it back up at the end to show you what the results were, so that you can see it. So yeah, we died there. That was the first attempt. Yeah, I died. Everybody died. We ended up wiping on that one. And now we're going to try the second attempt very soon. In just a couple of seconds. There's going to be a few, maybe like 30 seconds of the next encounter with that boss dude, that dwarf. However, it's all going to be all low frame rate, so you're not going to be able to make out anything. Like, I could barely make out anything while I was playing, so it was that bad. So I'm just going to skip that part after a while, and, yeah, here's the end. Well, I don't know if it's Windows Movie Maker or if it was actually Fraps that did this, because it was really laggy whenever I was playing it, but I think Windows Movie Maker is making it even worse than it actually was while I'm commentating, so that's gonna kind of mess up my commentating, the timing and everything. So I'm gonna skip the results. I'm gonna not skip the results, I'm gonna skip the actual fight with the dwarf, and you're just gonna see the results at the end. So this is basically the end of the video, and I hope you guys did enjoy this, and I'll see you in the next video.